Let the light stream forth from the Ancient of Days. Let light flow from the holy Kumaras. I stand before you with Lady Master Venus and the holy Kumaras, lords of flame from Venus. Raise their hands to release the light that is the final release for this conference, as energy to stimulate the mind of man, as the action of the mind of God for this cycle unto the focal point of the Divine Mother at summer solstice. We send forth the jewel light of consciousness and of love. The evolutions of Venus send greetings, and all commune for the victory of Terra. This is an hour of choosing. It is a choice whether to serve in the light or not to serve at all. It is an hour to draw with the mighty pen and the sword the circumference of selfhood, of life, of service. What will your commitment be? Will you withdraw into the shadows, or will you come into the light? Hierarchy has sent forth the call. The call has ever been the communication of the all. Giving your all, you have received all. So light flows, and so we stand to proclaim the way of the cross and of the crown as the way of wisdom's golden flame. Let the cross of white fire point the way. Let the cross of white fire symbolize that decisions must be made, that the decision to be all in God is your call to hierarchy that will compel the answer. Let the cross of white fire be the symbol of your converging in the center. Let it be the force field in you of ultimate victory. God will not be mocked. Therefore, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. This is the law. It is as it ever has been. The sowing of harmony is the reaping of harmony. The sowing of discord is the sowing of that energy which will return as the whirlwind, as the energy that will unseat the soul. Let all feel a cosmos. Let all know the quivering of the love of the cosmic Virgin. Let all sense the heartbeat of Almighty God. I stand in salutation of the threefold flame of life, now ablaze in thousands upon Terra, anchored as a force field of victory. I stand to salute Gautama Buddha, and I come to reconsecrate life and to reconsecrate my flame in support of the endeavor of Saint Germain and Jesus, for the light to spread abroad in this world, and for this world to become a sphere of light spinning in cosmos as the action of the souls who are winning, fulfilling a victory, fulfilling a mandate of the law of being. Therefore the crown is not won without the cross, and the way of the cross is the way of the day-by-day sacrifice of every aspect of the lesser self that resists the cosmic flow of life. I am standing by this messenger, by this organization, and I am infusing all who endeavor to serve with the light of the mind of God, with the action of the all-seeing eye, to know the steps that ought to be taken, that shall be taken, one by one, for the fulfillment of the promise. I give my life gladly to you, keepers of the flame, servants of God, disciples who have come to see the light, who have both seen and felt the light and heard the word. We are not as far from you as you might think. Can you imagine me being far from those evolving on Terra when I kept the flame here for thousands of years, knowing each one of you individually, intimately as Father, Mother, flame of life? And so I have held all evolutions of Terra in my soul, in my arms of light. And so I know the way. I know the struggles and the victories. I know the way of the conquering of the conquerors. For I am come, and I am the champion of each one, moving toward the fulfillment of the eternal light. Venus pledges light, support, momentum for the times ahead, for the mankind of Earth. The evolutions of Venus send a more than ordinary energy to uplift and enlighten, an energy of love whereby you can overcome that momentum that resists the flame of Saint Germain. Love for the overcoming of all hatred and agencies of hatred, and disguises and manipulations of the energies of hatred. Let them be exposed, and let the law of love be the active principle for the overcoming victory. I have set the line. I have set the mark. I have set the word. So let it be that the transfer is made from my heart to your own, increment by increment. As the 24 elders seal the dispensations which are granted one by one at the hour of midnight, as these are signed and signified by the angelic hosts, so I have volunteered to implement that light, to magnify that light, to uphold and defend that light in you. So you have sent the call, so expect the answer, and retain the memory of your promise, for the Lord will not hold them guiltless who forget the promise they have made unto the Ancient of Days, unto the cord of the sacred fire, unto the I am that I am. So let the fulfillment of the promise of love be, working the works of God hand in hand. I extend my hand in friendship, in support. You have asked for help. I answer. I do not hesitate. I do not equivocate. I come forth. I give answer, because love is the answer. When the call of distress goes forth, a planet in distress will always have the answer from our heart's love. And therefore, In the moment when you think, even listening angel does not hear your prayers, think of Sanata Kumары, for I will answer. Every heart that is honorable and just and noble, trustworthy in the faith, I will answer. I will stand as I have stood. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I give unto you the Lady Master Venus. I have asked angelic bands of love to release from Venus unto you a melody of love that is the melody of my heart, as comfort, as joy, as compassion without alloy. I desire that you should receive this music of the angelic hosts, for they have been practicing in their choirs and in their chambers and on their harps and many instruments which you have not here on terra, but which will be released one day to advance souls on the ray of music in temples of music which will be established here on earth for the anchoring of energies of harmony, of light, and of the ascension. And therefore I shall be in the silence for a moment as I stand before you, as these angelic hosts send forth now music that contains energy and light for the soul, integration for atoms and cells, a sealing of the four lower bodies, and light unto the perfect day of Meta, of victory, of holy ones serving the cause of love throughout a cosmos. The choirs of Venus and angelic bands of orchestration will continue their release throughout the 24-hour cycle which follows the conclusion of this conference. For the earth and souls who have been a part of this release, to absorb the sphere, the electronic presence of the light of Venus. Our hearts, as twin flames of fire, seal now you and your twin flame in cosmic service. With your point, the point of your toe on terra, like a ballerina, you reach up and your hands scrape the heavens and touch the stars as you realize, above and below, your service and your calling is on many planes of consciousness, and many of you regularly journey to temples of light on Venus as part of your service and your training for this life and beyond. And so many of you look up at the evening star with a longing for home. Indeed, Venus is your home of light, if you will make it so. And many of you have come forth from Venus. Many of you came with Sanata Kumары. And many of you have spent a sojourn there, passing from other planetary homes to study in our temples of art and beauty and culture and the flame of the Mother. In the court of Venus, where there is now a ceremony taking place, there is the investiture of certain Venusians who will be coming forth to take incarnation on Terra in coming years as homes of light and focuses of light are established, where they can feel that they will have the opportunity to outpicture the delicate cycles that come with souls of Venus. And so you see so many activities taking place on so many stars in so many retreats of the Great White Brotherhood, requiring the mind of God, the mind of a cosmos to contain the organization of all that is functioning to keep the flow of light in balance from the great central sun. You can imagine then if one hierarch of light or one retreat or one star should suddenly decide to not fulfill an aspect of the law or of responsibility for the stepping down of energies and of light, how this would be a considerable disturbance across the span of galaxies and hierarchies. And therefore understand that we do not place our trust lightly in those who volunteer for service, nor can we place in the untried and the untrained energies of cosmic dimensions, for to place our trust, to give our responsibility into the hands of those who have proven themselves unstable in the past is folly. Not only is it folly, but it places in jeopardy millions of life waves and perhaps even millions of planetary homes and evolutionary bodies. Those of you then who are working your way in hierarchy, understand this. Whatever you volunteer to do, that do, and do it well, and keep on keeping on unto the end. If perhaps you think you have volunteered incorrectly, and you find yourself in a situation that is more than you can handle, invoke cosmic assistance, and ask the assistance also of your peers. But do not turn back, do not look back. For more than the task at hand is the record that will be written by the keeper of the scrolls, whether or not you have been able to balance the energies of the 12 cosmic hierarchies in the fulfillment and the completion of the cycle of the 12. When you volunteer then, volunteer to do those tasks which you are certain of completing. Test yourself, try yourself, and accomplish that which is within your hands, and then volunteer in greater and greater measure as step by step you prove yourself first unto yourself, and then unto the hierarchs of light. Better a small task well done than a larger task left undone. See then how each step of the way an initiation is given. Whether known or unknown by you, heaven is watching. Heaven is waiting for souls who are proven and who have proven themselves. Souls who are sure-footed, whose feet are planted firmly on the ground, whose hearts are one in light, whose heads are even, whose tempers are even, and yet whose souls can reach the stars for inspiration on the way. The blending, then, of spirituality and practicality must be the byword of those who are conquering in this age. Hierarchy can suggest, hierarchy can point the way for projects that are urgent on the drawing boards of the Brotherhood. You then must implement, and each erg of energy that you spend to implement the plan ought to count for fulfillment, that it not be undone and redone, requiring more energy and more expenditure of precious light substance. I ask you then to call to the holy Kumaras, who govern a certain action of flow for the stimulation of the mind, that it might act as the mind of Christ. I ask that you call for the all-seeing eye of Cyclopeia and the great divine director in all that you do, taking care that you reverse the tide of all opposition to the divine plan, to the all-seeing eye, to the victory of light, and to right decision. Following each precept of the law step by step, you will find the clarity and the quickening necessary for the fulfillment of the law of life and every plan and each step of the way home. So let it be that light bearers and keepers of the flame are known to be the steady, the strong, the stalwart, and let this be the conquering of those who carry the mark of the beast, the steady, the stalwart, and the strong. I am a mother of love, and love too comes in many guises. And so strength is the quotient of love anchored within your heart, and steadfastness, and each quality of light, as you surrender, as you sacrifice, as you obey the laws of God, come what may. This is a love greater than the self, and only the love that transcends the self can be victorious. Only the love that goes beyond and is confident in the victory because of the momentum of love, only that love can win. Now then, as you weigh in the balance the decision of the hour, which may well become the decision of the lifetime, for you know, as decisions go, one decision leads to the next, and you find yourself step by step, farther and farther from the center, or closer and closer to the heart of the Mother. So then, count each decision as a mark on the path of attainment. Count each decision as an expenditure not only of your own light, but of the light with which hierarchy has vested you. Count each decision as you pass the hours and decide what to do each day and with your life. Count that a decision which involves all of cosmos. And go out onto the grass, into the fields, in the evening. Lie on your back and look up to the stars and think in your heart. Lady Venus is there. Sanata Kumары is there. Millions of cosmic beings twinkling in the sky, and here am I. Here am I smelling the grasses and the fragrances of springtime. Here am I with a life and a potential. I can become a star. As Saint Germain has said, with 1 million, 2 million right decisions, I can win my ascension. I will begin right where I am. I will decide to be God. If this is your decision, and you will it through and through, then act upon the consequences of being God where you are. And you will know, and you will see the meaning of the flame of responsibility. And perchance you will remember that hour when cosmic councils convened, when no one on Terra had enough light to sustain or magnetize a threefold flame large enough to keep the evolutions and the planet in rotation. You will recall how cosmic councils decided there was no purpose, no further reason for being for Terra. And the flaming one, Sanata Kumары, my own beloved, appeared before those councils, saying, I have a flame. I am a living flame. I will go to Terra to keep the flame of life until some respond enough to keep that flame for the multitudes. Will you remember that that holy offering was an offering of one who had a sense of cosmic responsibility, a sense of responsibility to each one of you, to all mankind. There are evolutions in this world and in other worlds who are looking to you, each one of you, as you are seated in this hall this night. They look to you and they wonder, what is the mark of responsibility? What is the reach of responsibility? What is the vision of responsibility of these who call themselves keepers of the flame? Will they remember? Will they remember that in the heart is the fire that can start a world turning, an evolution glowing? Will they remember that there are souls who will win if they win, and who will lose if they lose, if they fail to choose to be God where they are? You have had shielded from you all that depends upon you and your commitment. Now I say the time has come for the curtain to be drawn, for you to view the teeming millions who in their souls look to salvation, to those who know the law and invoke the law on Terra. Terra is a key to victory in this entire solar system. And this solar system itself is a key to victory in this sector of the galaxy. And on and on. How do you know when and where the dominoes will fall? When you make a decision yourself to be or not to be. Now, with all the light that you have been given, now then I say, I place upon you the mantle of responsibility, and you will feel the weight of this cape, for this cape is composed of fabric that is of substance, that has weight, that when you wear it you might know to hold shoulders erect and keep your eye centered upon God. For mankind will walk in the footsteps where you walk. They will follow the sweep of that cape. Let them follow you home to the great central sun. Let them follow you to Venus' star. Let them follow you into light. So let it be. So let it be. The light of the resurrection flame is sealed, and we form upon you the heart, the one heart of twin flames merged, as above so below. We draw the sign of the cross and place upon it the crown, the symbol of the path, the way, the overcoming, and the victory unto the new day. So let it be the symbol of you and your twin ray as you become one day solar logoi for systems of worlds far beyond, far beyond. We are here, and we shall tarry for a time, and another time, and again a time. And we shall then be on Venus, and then, at another time, we shall be a force field, renewing once again the commitment of our twin flames. This time, it will be the flow of the feminine ray as I take up residence for a certain period on Terra, as Sanata Kumары keeps the flame on Venus. So it will be made known to you when I will begin my self-appointed exile upon Terra, and I shall return, and I shall be a protection to the Mother, to all light-bearers, to all souls. I shall be the heart of the Divine Mother of Love for Terra. Unto you, the Amen of the hosts of light. Unto you, the Amen, Amen.